Hello and welcome to a facts and date video about Frederick of Wurttemberg. Now, Frederick was born in what is now modern day Poland to her father also called Frederick and his mother. He had a number of siblings and he was at that point not expected to take over the Principality of Wurttemberg, because at the time of his birth, one of his father's older brothers held the title, and then when he died, the next brother took over, and as both of these brothers were childless, finally the Principality moved onto Frederick's father, and he became the head and the leader of the Principality, and he ruled it relatively well. So, during Frederick's life, he was in the army. He fought in quite a few campaigns. He kept himself relatively involved in all military things around Europe, particularly when it came to France and the French Revolution and everything like that. He was quite interested in keeping abreast of what was happening there, because of thinking that things may happen over in the local area which would affect him if he ever when he becomes leader of the Principality. Obviously, he gets married first of all in 1780 to Augusta of Brunswick, which of course is the aunt of his second wife, brother, King George IV, which is quite an interesting little connection between the two families. Obviously, unfortunately, that had nothing to do with the marriages between Caroline and George. But this marriage in 1780 produced 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters. Only 3 of these children managed to live until adulthood. One of his daughters, I can't remember her name, but she passed away as an infant. Then his wife dies. She dies in 1788. Then, in 1796, I think, he marries Princess Charlotte, the Princess Royal, of course, who was our previous video. And they live relatively happily together. They have one child. Unfortunately, is stillbirth, and they never have any other children. Then, in 1815, in Venice, the structure of Europe is reconfigured, and he becomes King of Wurttemberg. So he becomes Frederick I, King of Wurttemberg. And for the remainder of his life, he rules, which of course wasn't very long, but he rules the kingdom, and him and his wife carry on doing, being interested in military affairs. Also, one other thing that is quite interesting that I thought I'd mention to you is During the French Revolution, Frederick went to France and Paris to see the effects of the French Revolution on the people. And he was quite scathing about Napoleon Bonaparte, and by actually saying he never realised that a man would have so much arrogance and so much hatred in himself for being such a small man. You'd think he would be at least 3 times the size. And of course, Napoleon was not particularly pleasant about him, by basically saying he was a crappy little man, and he was the king of, well, actually no, sorry, he was the leader of a kingdom of nowhere. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been interesting for you, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye.